All right, so you've gone through the whole presentation, sat for an hour with the client, and then you roll out your finest offer. And then the client ends up with, hey, let me think about it, I'll get back to you, or the money is too much. We're not looking for something right now, or I need to go talk to my boss or my wife or whatever it is. Okay, just like the famous boxer Mike Tyson says, everybody's got a plan till they get punched in the face. And that's what happens with most salespeople when they go through the whole sales pitch and they end up with one of these three big objections. Let me think about it. I got to talk to my spouse or my boss, or this is just too much money. What do? Maybe you string it out. You're like, hey, I totally understand. What we can do is etc. etc. Add more features and benefits to it. Or what you can do is you can ratchet it down. You go ahead. Hey, maybe the discount is not enough. I'll increase the discount. We can negotiate on the price or something like that. Or what you can do is be a whiner. Say, hey, why not accepting the deal? Is such a good deal. We've put the best deal together for you. Or what you're going to do is you're going to oppose the client and say, hey, why the hell don't you agree with the deal? And you're not going to get this kind of a deal anywhere else. We are the best, etc., etc. Okay, all of these are very weak responses, and amateur salespeople are using these responses morning, noon, and night. If you want to be in sales, you want to be an entrepreneur, then hand-to-hand selling is something you need to master, regardless of how many automations, ads, funnels, etc. that you use. It's not going to be of any use till you learn the art of the close. Okay, now in this particular video, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the two goals of a sales call that are going to make your prospect select you every single time. We're going to talk about the three barriers in the mind of a prospect that you can convert into a catalyst, which means those are the things that prevent a person from taking action. You're going to make them the reasons that your prospects actually take action. The 7 steps to frame a killer close so that you get the sale every single time. My name is Dr. Rajat Sinha. I'm a medical doctor turned sales strategist. And my story is that I learned sales in my medical college days when I started doing a commission selling business, selling health and financial products. And my mentor really had to break his head for 3+ years before he could teach me some of the lessons that I'm going to share with you today. And then it took me 20+ years to hone it in multiple industries till I actually became a sales coach. Okay, so welcome to this video. Let's get started. And hey, by the way, if you're liking these videos, if you're following me on YouTube, I'd really love it if you could subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button so you get first cut at all of the different videos that are released. I release 3 times a week. All right, I want you to have all of this knowledge immediately as it releases so that it can really help you in your sales career. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to go through why do people choose you? Why should people choose you? There are only 2 reasons why people choose you, my friend. Number 1, you bring more consciousness to the game. Number 2, you bring more connection to the game. Number 1, you bring more consciousness to the game. Number 2, you bring more connection to the game. Those are the only 2 reasons why people choose you over your competition, or why people choose to do business with you on a paid basis at all. All right. Now, what does more consciousness mean? I've got 3 constraints over here: time constraint, money constraint, and boldness constraint. The 3 reasons why actually people don't spend, whether with you or with anybody, is they don't have the time, they don't have the money, or they don't have the guts. They may want some particular reason. They may have a problem, like a health problem, like a money problem, or something like that. And they don't have the guts to break through their barrier and go ahead and achieve it for themselves, because maybe deep down inside they feel it doesn't belong to them, they're not worth it, or whatever it is. Okay, I am a sales coach, and one of the things I bring to the table, more consciousness, is a lot of people don't have the boldness or the guts to ask for the money. And the consciousness that I bring to the table is I'm able to help them break through that barrier, the guts, not having the guts to ask for the money. So what is it that you have achieved in your life? Or when I say achievement, I don't need big achievements. What is the journey that you have played in your life in the same area? Health journey, money journey, something with relation to love, life, relationships, where you can understand, hey, why is it that the prospect doesn't have enough time to achieve this goal, doesn't have enough money to achieve this goal, doesn't have enough guts or boldness to achieve this goal, and where can I make the journey easier for them? So more consciousness. You should, when you're talking to a prospect, you should always be looking at what is the barrier that is helping them or that is preventing them from achieving the results that they want. And then at the end, you're going to use this as a weapon or as a fuel to close the sale, because you're going to cut through these barriers in the format that I'm going to show you right now. Right. Second goal is more connection. Okay, more connection. People are not really interested in features, benefits, solutions, packages, but they are really looking at whether this person understands me or not. And I can tell you, some of the biggest spenders are going to make life a living hell for you during those sales calls, because they are wanting you to crack that tough egg and reach down inside deep into their soul and really tickle the real pain which is deep inside. Okay, really tickle the pain which is deep inside. Most people, when they come to a sales call, the things that they say on the upfront, what are their problems, etc., is probably an eye wash. They're dying to have a person cut through the crap, reach deep inside them, and find that pain inside their heart. All right, and that is called more connection. There are 7 steps to achieve more connection. I'm going to show you all the 7 steps, and I'm going to map it to the actual Mad Money script, how you're going to achieve it. All right, okay. Hey, real quick, I've written a book about this on Amazon. It's called Nil Negotiations Selling. You can just check it out. Just search for Dr. Rajat Sinha on Amazon, and you'll find more details over there. Okay, let's go over here. Let's talk about connection. What are the steps to more connection? The first step to more connection is intention. Intention. What does intention say? The thought in my heart when I'm talking to a prospect is, hey, I am the person in charge of taking care of X problem, whatever the problem is, that you don't have the time, money, or boldness to do for yourself. You don't need to say that in the introduction. That is the mindset, that is the frame that I carry. Okay, that's the frame you're gonna carry inside you when you go meet a prospect. I am the person in charge. I am the person in charge of taking care of your health problem that you don't have the time to do for yourself. I am the person in charge of taking care of your self-image problem that you don't have the boldness to do for yourself because you don't feel worth it. Okay, I am the person in charge of this problem. And you can also introduce yourself that way. In the Mad Money script, what we do over here, let me just quickly share my screen, is you can see over here, the yellow stuff, that's how you open. Okay, this is the Mad Money script, starts at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 o'clock. By the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock time frame, we are in your backstory and vehicle. Then we have something called an if I would you question. Then we got the offer, and then we got the close. Okay, so when you open, you're going to say, hey, you're going to ask them the question, hey man, my name is so-and-so, what's your name, where do you come from, what is the problem that brings you over here? And if they ask you about you, you say, okay, I'm the guy that helps solve this problem. Just like I said, I'm the person that helps solve your sales problems. Okay, that's it. That's the intention. My intention is very simple. I'm the person in charge of the money problem. I'm the person in charge of the health problem that you don't have the time, money, or boldness to do for yourself. Very simple. Next, you need to have a strong backstory. Okay, what is a strong backstory? People don't buy what you do. People buy why you do it. Why is it that you do what you do? People don't buy what you do. People buy why you do it. So you need to have a very, very strong story over here. And if you haven't developed it, you need to work with a coach to fix it, because this is one of the biggest things that is going to make the difference between selling versus not selling. And the backstory says it all started when. Okay, when did it all start? Why do you want to share this? All right. Same with me. I just started with my backstory. I started every single video has my backstory here, and I started in medical college. I started selling commissionable products, and I had a big problem because I'm from the medical background. Plus, I come from a family lineage of government employees used to giving competitive exams, used to being right in giving answers. And sales is not having the right answers. Sales is all about asking the right questions and making sure somebody else is giving you the answers. Okay, so just to get this mindset shift of instead of answering questions to the prospect, just asking the questions, making sure they answer the questions, that mindset shift took my mentor coaching me full time, more than 3 years, man. It was that difficult a problem to solve. And now I realize, hey man, if I had this problem, how many people today coming from educated middle class backgrounds may have this problem, due to which they may never become successful entrepreneurs. And that is the need of the hour today. That is why I'm a sales coach. Very simple. That is my backstory. What is your backstory? Why are you in the health business? Why are you selling health supplements? Why are you selling financial products? Why are you selling mindset coaching or whatever it is? Introduction. You have your introduction contains your backstory. Okay. Your opening contains your intention. Your introduction contains your backstory. Okay. And the backstory says it all started when. It all started when. Okay. You need to have that. That builds what you call it connection. That builds connection. Number three, you have painting pictures. Your goal is to paint pictures. Okay, your goal is to make the picture clear in their mind as to what has stopped them so far. Make that picture clear in their mind as to what has stopped them so far. Most people don't know what the landscape looks like. Most people are confused with lots of offers, lots of ads, lots of things that they have tried that didn't work for them. So they don't know why the hell they're not getting the results. They don't know what is the right step to take. Most of them are afraid to make a mistake. So there's too much information out there. Too much information on TV, too much information on ads, too much information on social media, too much information on YouTube, just too much information. People are afraid to make the wrong choice, and they don't know how many different directions. They don't know how to just correct all that information, structure all that information in their head. That's where you come in painting pictures, making the picture clear in their mind so they understand what has stopped them so far. And you're going to do this in the Mad Money script when you're going to be asking them all these different questions: what, why, how long, who, etc., etc. Okay, when you ask them questions and you force them to give the answers, you're providing the highest level service that there is in this marketplace, the highest level service. Because while you're asking them the questions, they are asking themselves the same questions. And it's not that they haven't asked themselves questions, they haven't sat in front of somebody who has forced them to give answers. So they're forced to think while on the call. 84% of all rejections is basically, let me think about it and get back to you. So if you're getting a lot of rejections in your sales call, 84% of those reasons are, let me think about it and get back to you. Because salespeople sit out there and give information, ads give information, automations give information, funnels give information, everybody gives information, but nobody actually sits down and makes them think while on the call. And that's what you're going to do. Okay, that's what we call painting pictures, making the picture clear in their minds so as to what has stopped them so far. And you're going to do that by asking lots of questions and cross questions. Next, telling stories. Telling stories. What are the stories you're going to tell? 3 solid stories, or at least 3 to 4 solid stories. We have something called an origin story. We have something called a vehicle story. We have something called an epiphany bridge story. I'm not going to go into all of these. There's something called a closing story also. If you're doing mass selling on the internet, like in a webinar or something, you need to have a closing story also. There are 3 to 4 stories you're going to master. But let me go through 1 or 2 stories right here. In the Mad Money script, I'm just going to match the color scheme. You see over here, it's like this light pink. And over here, you have my story, which is going to be my backstory. Okay, I haven't matched the color correctly, but your backstory and your vehicle story needs to connect. What is the vehicle story? Why do I believe 100% that this is the direction you should go in? Why do I believe 100% that this is the direction you should go in? Like, why do I believe that sales is the answer to your problems if you're an entrepreneur? Because there is too much crap in the marketplace about lead generation and funnels and automations and all of this. Everybody is trying to schlep some system or the other which is going to solve your problem. And let me tell you very clearly, it's not going to solve your problem till you start learning how to ask for the money. And that is my story also. Okay, there is way too much lead generation happening and way too much nurturing happening and way too much automations happening. And my story over there is I've spent lakhs and lakhs of rupees building automations, learning systems, and doing all kinds of lead generation and all. I mean, I have spent lakhs and lakhs of rupees and it did not solve the problem till I was willing to pick up the phone or sit in front of Zoom and start asking for the money and figuring out why the hell people are not paying me the money. Okay, one of my very first successes in the online world happened when I started running ads in 2017. And I was so frustrated by then that I actually picked up the phone, called those people, and literally went to their freaking homes and sat in front of them and asked for the money. And that's when I started realizing what were the reasons why people were not paying me through all of the online channels and all that. I literally chased people down, sat in their homes, and asked for the money. And that is why I feel that today, using Zoom, if you can sit in front of people and ask them for the money, it may seem like a waste of your time. You may spend 3 to 4, 5 hours every single day doing one-on-one calls and things like that. It may seem like a waste of your time, and the online industry is over there to tell you that it's a waste of your time. The automation will do it for you. The answer is the automation is not going to do it for you. You're going to have to do it for yourself. And your prospect wants to see a person who has the guts to sit in front of them and ask them for the money, honey. They want to work with such a person. They don't want to work with an automation. Okay, so that's my story about my vehicle. Very simple. What's your story? Why do you believe that a particular health supplement can do the job? Why do you believe that antioxidation is important for your clients? Why do you believe that X, Y, and Z, whatever you do on the make money side, why do you believe buying insurance is very important? Why do you believe financial planning is important? Why do you believe emotional nurturing is important? Whatever is your product, why is it? You got a personal story about it, my friend. Okay, we need to know that story. So that comes under step number 4, telling stories. Okay, I don't have it color coded properly. At the 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock mark, you will have your backstory and your vehicle story. Okay, your backstory and your vehicle story. All right. Next we have influence. What is influence? Everybody talks about building influence, and people say, well, it's all about going on social media, building a bunch of videos. No. What is influence? Influence is about selling the idea or the vehicle. How do you sell or pre-sell the idea or the vehicle? How do you sell or pre-sell the idea or the vehicle? You're going to introduce the vehicle story, and then you're going to ask them, hey man, if I, would you? You're going to give them the option, if I or would you. What do we call this? We call this persuasion. So what is influence and persuasion? You're going to tell them the big idea or the vehicle. You're going to tell them the story behind the vehicle. Then you're going to ask them, hey man, if I, would you? If I asked you to do X, Y, and Z, would that solve the problem? If I removed this problem from your life, the time problem, would you be able to achieve the health result? Okay. And they have to say yes to that. Okay. Before that, you can also ask a when question. You came to me with a health problem, assuming you found the right solution. When would you like to get started? That's an assumptive urgency question. If I, would you is also an urgency question. This is how you build influence and persuasion. Sell the big idea or vehicle using a story, and then trial close. When would you like to achieve this? If I asked you to do this, would you be able to show up on time? Okay, that's a trial close. And next you have the actual close, commitment. Actual close and commitment. Okay, you talk about the result, increase the certainty, reduce the effort, reduce the time, give them the total maximum retail price, give them the discount offer, and get them to sign. Okay, these are the steps in actually getting the commitment. Okay, the close. What is the ideal end result? What is the certainty of getting the result? How do you reduce the effort? How do you reduce the time to get the result? What is the price? What is the offer price? Done. Okay, those are the 7 steps: intention, backstory, painting pictures, telling stories, influence, persuade, and get them to commit or close. Those are the 7 steps in building connection. If you miss any of these 7 steps, you do not have connection. Some of these steps are difficult because you got to ask for the money. Some of these steps are difficult because you got to challenge the prospect. And as I said, the prospects don't feel engaged if there is nobody to challenge them, because information alone does not get results in the marketplace. And that is why people don't choose you. So when people say, I need to think about it, I don't have the money, I need to ask my spouse or boss, the problem is either your consciousness is below the 100 mark, 100% mark, or your connection is below the 100% mark. That means you missed out certain steps. If you have all of these factors in play, then assuming it's the right prospect, which means they truly are looking for the solution, they truly have spent with some supplier in the past, they're truly browsing around looking for for a good solution or a good fit for their needs, then you're going to close. Okay, your consciousness level needs to be sky high, your connection level needs to be tight, and you cannot miss any of the steps. That is the reason why people actually choose you, whether choose you in comparison to your competition or choose you to do business with at all. Okay, so with that, what I want you to do is take notes and figure out on any of these different items, where is the part that you're missing. I've told you 10 different things over here today. Okay, the 3 points of consciousness and 7 points of connection. The 3 plus 7, 10. On this scale of 1 to 10, I want you to mark down where is the thing that you are missing. What is the point that you're missing? Okay, and assuming you're talking to the right target persona, you have a good backstory, you should get your results every single time. Okay, that's all for this video. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Leave me a comment on what else you would like to see, and I'm going to be happy to make a video for you on that topic. All right, look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.